So anyway, I keep hearing that the Angel Reese, Asia Wilson supporters they are the ones with the motion. They're moving the needle.
Let's talk about delusion for a second. Because if you've been anywhere near social media lately, you've probably heard it. Angel Reese genuinely believes she's just as much of a draw as Caitlin Clark. That's the claim, right? According to her most loyal fans, and honestly, Reese herself, she's the reason everyone's suddenly tuning into women's basketball.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize."
But here's the reality. When the actual numbers dropped, jersey sales, ticket revenue, viewership, all that noise, it vanished because one stat put every debate, every narrative, every comparison straight into a blender. And spoiler alert, it wasn't Angel Reese's name at the top. It was Caitlin Clark's, loud and clear, leaving no room for interpretation. The only real question, just how far down the list did Reese fall? Let's break it down.
So, what happens when what I think is probably the far and away the most popular female athlete there is in existence right now, Caitlin Clark? What happens when her jersey sales are revealed in a very important period, by the way? September 1 through November 3rd would be some prime Christmas area. Just pointing that out.
So if Angel Reese is really shaking the league like her camp claims, then riddle me this. Why did the entire basketball world start spinning the moment Caitlin Clark stepped into the W? If Reese is the one pulling the strings, why is every headline, every highlight reel, and every casual fan suddenly orbiting around Indiana's number 22? The answer's simple. And by the end of this video, we're walking you through the one metric that cut through all the noise and made it crystal clear who's the real heartbeat of the WNBA and who's just riding the wave.
And Adam Silver was trying to get Caitlin Clark in the three-point shooting contest in the All-Star weekend. It was because he needed her more than she needed them. All right? That because of the popularity, what it was she could draw in. Fact is, a lot of her ratings in games last year beat a hell of a lot of regular season NBA games. That's how she moves the needle.
Let's talk about the state that shattered the internet and settled the debate. Caitlin Clark, the rookie, led the entire WNBA in jersey sales during the league's most lucrative time of year, the holiday season. Think about that. In a league full of certified stars, Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Clark, fresh out of Iowa, playing in Indiana of all markets, outshined them all. And no, Angel Reese wasn't even close. This isn't about having a flashy PR team or dominating the algorithm. It's about real star power, the kind that fills arenas, sells out merch, and turns casual fans into diehards, the kind that puts Caitlin Clark at the top, right where the numbers say she belongs.
What does that mean? We deserve more.
Of course,
Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody.
I agree with that.
But we gotta face the consequences.
What?
Damn, we gotta get it up.
Y'all gotta
like,
deal
y'all.
with something. Y'all gotta do something.
And we're not even close to done. You want to talk impact? Let's zoom out from just the WNBA. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just dominate jersey sales in her own league, she broke into the NBA's top sellers list. Yeah, that list. Only one name was ahead of her, Stephen Curry. Let that marinate for a second. The only player in the entire NBA who sold more jerseys than a rookie from the WNBA is arguably the most beloved and marketable player in the sport. And right behind him, Caitlin Clark. That's not just impressive. That's historic. That's generational. That's what real draw looks like. And Angel Reese? Well, let's just say her jersey sales are firmly chilling in the not top 10 category.
You see the top selling jerseys. Steph Curry is number one, and who's that? Tell me who this is. Caitlin Clark is number 2.
So while Clark has execs scrambling to scale arenas, beef up merch, and reroute TV schedules just to handle the demand, Ree is on Twitter dropping vague calls to action like, we gotta do something. Inspiring, maybe, effective. Not even close, because doing something means actually moving the needle. And right now, there's only one rookie who's rewriting the playbook in every measurable category. Caitlin Clark. She's driving ratings, breaking records, selling out stadiums, and turning women's hoops into can't-miss primetime. So, when Angel says we, maybe what she really means is me too. Because Aitlin, she already did it.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA additionally for you. This is all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark.
Now let's be clear. These jersey numbers weren't just good, they were historic. Steph Curry took the top spot, and right behind him, Caitlin Clark, a rookie from Indiana. You know who was nowhere to be found? On that list, Angel Reese. The self-proclaimed culture shifter, marketed as the face of Gen Z women's hoops, couldn't even crack the top tier. Why? Because viral interviews and polished TikToks don't equal real fan investment. Hype can. Trend for 24 hours. But Clark? She's built something stronger. Proof.
Caitlin Clark plays for the Indiana Fever. In Indiana. Now, in sports terms, Indiana is considered, quote unquote, a small market. All right, that's just a fact. It is what it is. It's not New York. It's not LA. All right, it's not even Dallas. It's not Chicago. It's not Houston. It's not a big market. All right, it's not one of these juiced up markets. Boston would be the other one. And that is Caitlin Clark.
And that's what makes all of this so undeniable. Caitlin Clark isn't coming from a flashy coastal media market. She's not in LA with celebrity courtside seats. She's not under New York's bright lights. She's not a social media darling out of Chicago. She's doing this from Indiana, a franchise that, let's be real, wasn't even on the national radar before she showed up. And now, Indiana is the most talked about team in the WNBA. Coincidence? Not even close. That's the Clark effect. Louder than hype, stronger than spin, and impossible to ignore.
This should tell everybody that wants to argue for these other players in the WNBA all they need to know.
Meanwhile, Reese's supporters keep screaming that she's a cultural icon. But let's be honest, culture without consumer engagement is just noise. If she's really moving culture, then where's the movement? Where's the spike in ticket sales? Where's the bump in viewership? Where's the line around the block for Angel Reese jerseys? Because so far, all we've seen is volume in quotes, not in data. And in pro sports, it's not about who talks loudest. It's about who moves the needle.
See some shots actually make it refreshing. Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music. Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
Let's break down the facts. Caitlin Clark is dominating. Her jersey sales are through the roof, and she's the top player in the WNBA, ranking just behind Steph Curry in terms of NBA player sales. Meanwhile, Angel Reese doesn't even crack the top 10. When it comes to viewership, Clark's games outperform NBA broadcasts. And as for marketability, Clark's already partnered with huge names like Gatorade, Nike, State Farm, Panini, Gainbridge, and Wilson, just to name a few. She's not just appearing in commercials, she is the commercial. Her endorsement deals are breaking records. On the other hand, Angel Reese's biggest claim to fame right now is a few TikTok dance collabs, hoping for some recognition. It's fun, but it's not creating the kind of economic impact that Clark is driving.
How far is the gap? How far is the gap between Caitlin Clark and her popularity and anybody else in the WNBA? That gap has got to be like the Grand Canyon. That's like she's in a different area code. She's in a different state, maybe a different country. There are no other WNBA players on this list. Angel Reese is not on there. All right? She is nowhere to be found.
So when the media tries to push the idea that Angel's impact is somehow different, ask them, different how? Because there's no stat yet to back it up. This isn't about silencing Reese. It's about being honest. You can't rewrite the facts just because you like one person's personality more. Caitlin Clark has the numbers, the fans, the ratings, and the respect. All Angel Reese has is a well-managed Instagram feed and a chip on her shoulder about not being treated the same. But here's the reality about treatment. It's not something you demand. It's something you earn.
All right, back to business. Slime bag work, Brittany Griner. You said you rang? Burn!
Somebody said she's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Burn!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. Friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her, too.
Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be the face of the league. She became the face of the league. She didn't beg for headlines. They came to her. She didn't complain about the coverage. She gave the media something they couldn't ignore. Through it all, she faced flagrant fouls, media hostility, and veteran jealousy. But she never folded. She kept playing at a high level. That's how legends are made.